This week we're going to highlight the potential price volatility associated with the release of several USDA reports on Thursday, January 12th. We're then going to shift our focus to trends in the weather in Argentina and Brazil and wrap things up looking at long-term trends in November soybean futures. Hi, this is Brian Basting with Advanced Trading. Let's talk about the soybean market. We've kicked off 2023 here, and once again there's quite a bit of uncertainty in this market. Let's start out this week looking ahead to next week on Thursday, January 12th, when the USDA will release a series of reports. Final crop size for 2022, updated grain stocks on December 1st, as well as updated supply-demand report. Let's take a look at the price volatility historically associated with those reports, looking at March soybean futures. Looking at this chart here, March soybean futures is depicted by the red bar. You can see over the years there has been years where there's been quite a bit of volatility, higher prices and lower prices on the day that those reports are released. And yet there have been other years here where there hasn't been as much volatility. Here's the key message we want to emphasize. We strongly encourage you to work closely with your trusted risk management advisor to have your risk management positions in place prior to the release of these reports. Let's shift our focus now to South America. Let's start out looking at trends in Argentina, which has garnered most of the headlines lately with a dry weather pattern. Let's take a look at where those soybeans are produced in Argentina. Looking at four key provinces here in Argentina, Buenos Aires, Cordoba, Santa Fe, and Santiago del Estero. Soybean planting in Argentina is about probably 80 to 85% done now. We want to emphasize very few of these beans, if any, are in the pod set or pod fill, but they will rapidly approach that as we move into mid-January and especially getting into February. Let's take a look at the short-term weather trends now for Argentina. Our slides this week, as usual, are courtesy of T-storm weather. We're starting out here looking at the next 10 to 14 days, quite a bit of heat moving into that area across those provinces we just described, maybe as high as the upper 90s here moving into mid-January. Moving on now, associated with that heat will be dryness. So we're looking at moderately to sharply drier than normal conditions across that entire area. Quantifying that as we wrap up Argentina weather, look at that entire area shaded in the red means it's moderately to severely dry over the next 10 to 14 days. Here's the key message. We don't want to say this is a catastrophic situation where the crop has already been destroyed, if you will. There is time for the crop to recover, but they need rainfall soon. Let's move on now and focus on trends in Brazil. Let's take a look at where the soybeans are produced in Brazil. We're looking at a wide variation north to south here in terms of Brazilian soybean production in Mato Grosso in the north, Goiás, Bahia, Minas Gerais, Paraná, Rio Grande do Sul in the far south, and Mato Grosso do Sul in that western region. Now in terms of the crop development, those crops in the far north and Mato Grosso are already being harvested to a minor degree at this point, but they will increase harvesting later this month. But you look at that far south area of Rio Grande do Sul and they're still planting early vegetative stage. Just a bit of background. Let's take a look at the weather trends now for Brazil. Much different situation for Brazil. Look at all that moisture over the next 10 to 14 days. Near to above normal precip. Quantifying that as we wrap up weather, look at all that light green area. If anything, in some of those areas there's a bit of concern of too much rain, but not overwhelming concern at the moment. But look at far south, Rio Grande do Sul is dry. Here's the key message we've tried to emphasize in our last couple of videos. We're looking at the potential for Brazilian soybean production this year to increase 30 million tons, or close to 25% from last year. So even though there are some concerns about Argentina at the moment, and justified, remember, Brazil is the largest soybean producer in the world. Let's wrap things up this week looking briefly at trends in November soybean futures. Now November beans here are trading near $13.95 a bushel. That's about 3 1/4 above the 5-year average for this time of year, and it's almost 2 months before that base crop insurance period is set. Key message, defend your balance sheet. Now, if you'd like more information, please feel free to contact us at 800-664-2321. We'll put you in contact with one of our risk management consultants who'll be happy to visit with you at your convenience. And remember, we update every Wednesday. Make sure to subscribe to our channel to never miss an update. And remember, you can check us out on YouTube at 11:20 a.m. Central Time on Thursday, January 12th for a live recap of the USDA reports. Thanks a lot. Have a good week.